KZ2 Masters. So Steve Brown starting off the pole. There's a hand up further back. That looks like the 31 of Gary Claxton with his hand up. And that's the thing about these standing starts and clutches, Tony.
Yeah, and certainly Carsport Wellington, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but the straight's actually slightly uphill. So
it's not like you can put the handbrake on.
No, very much so. So that's a shame for Gary because you know, another recent racer into the Masters class, and his final hasn't got off to a very good start at all. Yeah,
Gary's done a lot of racing in the Rotax heavy class over the last few seasons. His daughter Whitney, also a very, very good Rotax racer. Steve Brown taking early control from Mark Lane and Snow Mooney, and those three really have been the class of the field, and Gary Claxton not able to make the race start. Now, with the stall, it's also very hard to push those carts up the hill to get them restarted, and that seems to be the problem there for Gary Claxton.
Yeah, that's a shame for Gary because, like most of these drivers, they're all Auckland-based, so they've travelled a long way for this event. So that's a big shame for Gary, but these front boys are pressing on. I hope they've had their vitamins. It's a long way.
Now, the only differences between the Masters and the KZ2 karts, they're exactly the same. Are there any weight differences between the two?
Yeah, very much so, Jamie. Obviously, most of these karts are exactly the same. Still a KZ2 kart. Most of them actually came out of KZ2, and these Masters guys will purchase second-hand karts. Minimum of 40 years old, and they run a slightly heavier weight brake.
There's Snow Mooney, another new chassis recently introduced into New Zealand, the BRM. Not known too much about these chassis, but there's been a couple of young drivers. I know Stuart Gould's been doing pretty well in the Rotax heavy class, and good to see Snow out there, and another new chassis to the market. There's probably close to, 20 different chassis brands available on the New Zealand kart sport market. Yeah,
there's certainly plenty of options out there for people. You know, they're not only one or two brands like there used to be. There's many for people to pick from. So there's not just Ford and Holden. There's every other manufacturer out there now.
It's 53, Todd Wheeler going through. We saw his brother having some problems, Mark Wheeler, in the pre-final. Troy Wheeler, his other brother, as one goes off in the background. I think that was the 98 of Leo Bolt possibly, but Troy Wheeler, better known for truck racing. So all of the Wheeler boys now applying their trade in motorsport.
Yep, and they'll probably certainly find it's certainly a lot cheaper and a lot more cost effective than any other formula out there. So, but probably on the downside, it's a lot more physical. So they're getting their work out for their dollars input.
So 55 just going through there. Warren Paris, 98 Leo Bolt, and the 7 of Tom Curran. Curran running the Maranello chassis. Another one of the very popular Italian brands. So the other difference with the Masters karts, they are identified with the green number plates.
Yeah, which is certainly a good way of identifying them because, you know, at normal club day level, these guys will race in with the normal senior classes. And so they're still recognised as a Masters driver, even if they're running against the younger, more nimble 15-year-olds, Jamie.
So that is the battle group for 4th, 5th and 6th. Steve Brown, Snow Mooney and Mark Lane disputing lead out in front. There is the 61 of Mark Wheeler just off the back of that group as well. It is Steve Brown out in front from Snow Mooney. Mark Lane now back to 3rd.
Yeah, certainly we saw this happen to Mark in the pre-final as well. Probably lacking a little bit of kart set up, and they, like we said, they are very physical, so could be getting a little bit tired as Mark as well.
So Steve Brown's only been beaten once this weekend, and that was in heat number 2 where Mark Lane managed to beat him. In fact, I think Brown had some problems because he didn't feature in the top 3. He's pretty comfortably out in front here, about a 2-second advantage over Snow Mooney, who can't afford to make a mistake because Lane's right there with him.
Yeah, Mark's certainly pressing on. Like we said, the last lap board come up now, so there's not long to go if he's going to make a move. He's only got the best part of 8 corners to do it.
Steve Brown with the fastest lap of the race at a 35.4 set on lap 12. Snow Mooney with a 35.6 set on lap 9. Mark Lane at a 35.6 set on lap 5. So Mark just, again, like we saw with Brock Plum in the KF3 pre-final, just might have been a little bit too good too early.
Yeah, plenty of grip in the car. He's got out the gate good, but it's cost him later on. So, but Steve Brown, pictures here, he's the complete opposite.
So Steve Brown will take out the KZ2 Masters class here at the MeSetApp Instant Noodles CIK Trophy of New Zealand from Snow Mooney and Mark Lane. So Steve Brown with a 2.9 second advantage over Snow Mooney. Mark Lane in 3rd from Tom Curran. Todd Wheeler, Leo Bolt completes the top 6.
You know, get away at the start, and I thought that the other 2 boys would just rail with me so we could break the field. And then come 10 laps, I sort of thought it'll be a free-for-all, you know. I was fortunate enough to maybe open a small gap, which sort of kept me going to the end.
So it's Steve Brown, Snow Mooney and Mark Lane enjoying the champagne in KZ2 Masters. Check out the Kartsport New Zealand website, www.kartsport.org.nz, for more information about how to get into karting.